Here are 5 types of runs you need to be doing if you're a runner. Welcome back to another video. If this is your first time on the channel, my name is Preston Ruth. I ran track at the University of Tennessee, and I now post content for high school and college runners, as well as those looking to begin their running journey. This is video number 3 in my new series called Tips from a College Runner. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about 5 runs you need to be doing if you're a runner. So the key to running faster is having a consistent training plan. And there are 5 runs you need to be doing in training on a weekly basis to have a complete training plan and be successful. Now, as a runner, there's 2 main systems that you're going to be working: your aerobic system and your anaerobic system. So the word aerobic means with oxygen. This system's fueled by oxygen, and there are certain runs and workouts that you can do to get better at using your oxygen more efficiently. And many coaches believe that your aerobic system doesn't have a ceiling, so they really focus on training this system for most of the year, as this aerobic training really helps distance runners gain fitness the best. Then there's the anaerobic system, or without oxygen. So this system is going to produce energy without oxygen and is going to pull from energy that's stored in your muscles. Now, that's a very limited source, so once it runs out, your body begins to excessively produce lactate or lactic acid. And this is why races like the 400 and 800 hurt so much, because you're running in this anaerobic system. Now, I bring these up because I'm going to use these 2 words a lot in this video, and some of you guys have never heard what that is, and want you to make sure that you have a baseline knowledge of these 2 systems. So, the first run that all runners should be doing is easy runs. This is the foundation of your training. So easy runs should be 80% of your runs. If you run 5 times a week, 4 of these runs should be easy. If you run 6 days a week, 4 to 5 of these runs should be easy. And if you run all 7 days, then 5 of these runs should be easy. Now, easy runs are going to help you build that base endurance. It's going to help you maintain consistency in training. And it's really going to help prep your body for the intensity of hard workouts and the duration of a season, as well as recover between hard workouts. Now, a few easy run tips is easy runs mean easy. So you should aim to run at conversational pace. And what this means is if you're running with somebody else, you should be able to easily carry a conversation the entire run. And you should also go off of feel. So for me, I give myself a pace range so that I don't run too fast, but I also don't run too slow, because there is the reality that you can run too slow to where you don't get a stimulus from that easy effort. So I give myself this pace range, and then I run off of feel. And it may fluctuate which end I'm on based on the day. So the second run that all runners should be doing is long runs. So long runs should be 20% of your weekly mileage. Now, long runs are going to build endurance by increasing your time on your feet. It's gradually getting your body used to running for a longer duration of time, and it's really going to help build that mental resilience. Now, a couple of long run tips is making sure that you're hydrating before, during, and after your runs with water and electrolytes. Some people just drink water, but you're not absorbing that hydration. So get a salt packet or some sort of electrolytes to make sure that you're absorbing that hydration. As well, fueling before and after your run. So before my run, I usually do some sort of light carb snack, and then after, I'm making sure I'm replenishing the macronutrients that I lost during my run. So making sure I'm getting proteins, carbs, and healthy fats, because long runs are when I burn off the most calories. So it's making sure that I'm fueling with enough food. And the last tip is increasing the distance of your long runs slowly. So I increase my long runs week to week by no more than 1 mile or 1.5 miles to make sure that I'm gradually building this and not getting hurt. So the third type of run that all runners should be doing is tempo runs. Now, a tempo run is looking to build your lactate threshold. Your lactate threshold is the point where your body begins to rapidly produce lactic acid. So the higher this threshold is, the longer you can run, train at a higher intensity before building up lactic. And these tempos should be at an uncomfortable pace, but you should not be dying or redlining on these. This was a huge mistake that I made for most of my career, was taking these tempos way too hard. Now, a good rule of thumb is that the pace of these tempos should be about 1 minute slower than your fastest mile. Doing these once a week will be ideal and a good way to implement tempo runs into your training plan. So the fourth run that all runners should be doing is hills. Personally, I think this is the workout that helped me build strength the most. Hills are really going to enhance your speed, your power, and your strength. And this is a very versatile workout because you can pick what system you want to work based on how you set the hill up. The 2 types of hills that I did in college were long hills and short hills. With long hills, this would usually be 300 to 400 meters. you're running at about tempo pace, a little bit faster, and you're jogging down between. So it's continuous movement the whole time. It's really working that aerobic system. Then there was short hills, 100 to 200 meters. You're running pretty close to race pace, and you're walking back down. This really worked that anaerobic system. You should aim to do hills about once a week, and you can alternate each week between short hills and long hills. And even with long hills, that could take the place of a tempo that week. So you could do your long hills and still have another workout that week. And this really all depends on your season and your running level, but this is a great way to implement hills into your training plan. So the fifth type of run all runners should be doing is intervals. Now intervals are going to help develop your speed, and depending on the workout can also build your endurance and your strength. Some examples of intervals would be 400 repeats, 800 repeats, 1K repeats, mile repeats, and you can kind of pick which system you work depending on the duration of the rep as well as the rest you give between. So let's say you do a higher volume rep, say a 1K, a mile, and you give yourself shorter rest, that's gonna work that aerobic system. If you do more a shorter volume rep, say a 200, 300, 400 meter rep, and you give yourself longer rest, that's going to work that anaerobic system. Now you should pick 1 to 2 of these 3 runs I just talked about, the tempos, hills, and intervals, to do as your workout days. I work out twice a week, so I usually try to pick 2 of these 3, and each week it could differ which variation of these workouts that I do. So now that you know the 5 types of runs, here's a weekly training structure that you can use to implement all 5 of them and be able to have a successful training program. So I've had almost 10 years of experience with these workouts, with this training, and I believe that when you're consistently doing these 5 types of runs, you will find your best training. You might not gain fitness as soon as you want to, and I always lean onto a quote that my coach would say, it takes 10 weeks to be good, it takes 20 weeks to be great. So your timeline might look different, but if you're consistently doing these things the right way on a weekly basis and taking care of all the little things, you will be able to build fitness and find that success. That is all for today's video. Guys, thank you so much for all the support, and it's really awesome to just see the community that's on here and all the friendly comments. I really, really appreciate it. Drop any other videos that you want to see. I'm going to continue this series for a few more weeks before I kind of switch things up for my summer posts. But thank you guys so much. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching.